Welcome everybody, it's Jeff Beers from 40 Finance. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite spec stocks that I own. It's Turtle Beach, ticker symbol here, and let's jump right in. All right, so Turtle Beach makes gaming headsets. So if you have a teenager like I do, or you've seen any of the e-gaming tournaments that are on, they're all wearing headphones with a microphone that comes across when they're playing online gaming. Okay, so, and this is a trend that is, it's already big, it's likely gonna grow even more, and Turtle Beach is right in the middle with one of the best-selling lines of gaming headsets available for Xbox, Sony PlayStation, and they also do some PC gaming as well. From a stock perspective, Turtle Beach, currently at $16, trades at a P ratio of only 6. It has a forward PE ratio of 9.7. And you see here over the past 5 years, Turtle Beach has been 100% a spec stock, and it's had a wide range of prices, okay? It debuted way back in 2014, and when it debuted for a typical IPO in the period, it skyrocketed up. It's been down, down, down in the years prior to 2018, and it's been as low as $2 a share back in the start of 2018. Then they've received some good news. They've paid some debt down, sales have increased, and the stock's kind of picking up probably where it should have been for the past couple years. And so the bottom line with Turtle Beach, like I said, it's a speculation stock for me. It's not the only thing I hold in my portfolio. I have an affinity for the brand ever so slightly because my son uses it. I've bought him a couple Turtle Beach headsets, actually as more or less a stock market experiment to see, you know, how do they work and what are your thoughts and all this. And he's introduced me to some of the sponsorship avenues that they have on e-gaming, stuff that my son watches and influencers that he's aware of, and he showed me how Turtle Beach has gotten into those places. So it's almost like an education thing for me, and at a price like this, if you have extra money and you want to take a chance, then Turtle Beach might be a great stock to look at. Okay, from an income standpoint or revenue standpoint, Turtle Beach did $255 million last year, so obviously small company. And the revenue per share came out to be about $20 per share. And the revenue growth last year, at least from a quarterly perspective, when I grabbed this, which would have been Q4 from the year before, they're up 107% on their growth. So the growth is a great story. It's not mind-blowing growth by any stretch, but it's positive. Like all growing stocks, Turtle Beach also has a relatively significant amount of debt. Now, the good news about Turtle Beach's debt, if you go through their financial conference calls and stuff, they are being very aggressive in paying down their debt. It's a top priority for them, and they've already made huge strides with it. So right now their debt is at $128 million, and that brings them a ratio of 1.675 for the MRQ. And with that, you are probably out of the zone that any value, like pure-blooded value investor would play at. But if you could get this number down to 1 or less than 1, which I think Turtle Beach will do over the next 2 to 3 years, then you're talking about a pretty good foundation for a strong company that's growing revenue, earnings per share, paying down debt instead of borrowing more debt for consumer acquisition, which is a lot of what we see in the IPO land, e-commerce, internet startups. It's all about borrow more money, borrow more money, borrow more money. Turtle Beach is sort of an odd one because they're actually paying their debts off. So kind of impressive from my standpoint. Okay, there's a lot of words on here and I'm just going to skip ahead. This is the gaming headset market. I pulled this directly from one of Turtle Beach's financial presentations. And global gaming now exceeds both global cinema and global music market size with over 2.1 billion active gamers. So that's the gaming market as a whole. 2.1 billion active gamers. So very strong foundation. It does appear to be growing. Within the gaming headset space specifically, gaming headsets are nearly half of the total peripherals market, and it comes in at about $1 billion in global market size, okay? So that number is important because it tells us how big is the market, how big is the opportunity. We saw one slide back that Turtle Beach has $255 million in sales, but what is the opportunity from there, right? If the total market's 300 million, then they've probably already run their run, and that's as big as the company's gonna get. But we're at $1 billion for the global headset market. Turtle Beach is not alone in there, which we'll get to in a minute. So we know Turtle Beach has plenty of room to grow in the headset category. Okay, there's many more sales out there than they've captured to date. So that's a positive sign. There is also the growth of gaming, and I highlighted here the esports enthusiasts, which is folks who play in paid tournaments for money. There are quite a few folks who are on social media. They're professional video game players. They go to tournaments for millions of dollars in cash prizes. There's also opportunity for regular home gamers to go to large tournaments at convention centers and malls and things like that and compete for money. So the e-gaming niche is alive, and how quickly it grows it's hard for me to say, but it's definitely growing, which is a positive because anyone who's going to an e-gaming tournament has to have one of these headsets, basically. They don't have to buy a Turtle Beach one, but they certainly need one of the headsets. So when we look at this slide, which comes directly from Turtle Beach investor material, we see that the market in 2017, as represented here, Turtle Beach had 42% of the market. Now, the important thing about this number is this is the total headset market. And there's a pretty big distinction that I'm going to get to here in just one second. They're the #1 gaming headset provider for Xbox and PlayStation, which far and away, that's probably, 70-75% of the console gaming market, just as a rough guess for me. My son owns PlayStation, so that's where he uses his Turtle Beaches. And 4 of the top 5 selling third-party headsets are Turtle Beach, okay? So this is an interesting distinction because PlayStation and Xbox also have their own name brand headsets, all right? So now those name brand ones, the PlayStation headset, Xbox, they are more expensive than a third-party version. And at least from what I can tell in research of going on Amazon, reading through customer reviews, the Turtle Beach and some of the competitors are actually better in terms of sound quality, in terms of settings, in terms of functionality. So take that with a grain of salt though, because we can safely assume that a lot of parents who go to a toy store and they have no idea what they're buying, they're going to see PlayStation headset and they're going to buy that. But probably if the kids went, they would choose Turtle Beach or another brand. So it is important to know that PlayStation has their version of a headset out there. So does Xbox. But the third parties are coming in with seemingly better products to compete in that space. If you look directly at first and third party sales, Turtle Beach has 5 of the top 10 sellers. And that when it says sellers, it means models. So there's wireless, there's plugged in, there's all kinds of extra features that you can have. So Turtle Beach is firmly entrenched with a large market share. But it is important to know that it's not just a rocket shot to the moon with this. There's competitors out there. The platforms themselves have products. So Turtle Beach will have to continue to make superior products. They're going to have to continue to market, get store shelf space, use influencers and sponsorships of e-tournaments in order to make further headwinds. So it's going to be interesting how it shakes out. On the bright side, they're paying down their debt, their revenues should grow, and the future is promising. This screenshot from TipRanks gives you some idea of what other analysts are predicting for Turtle Beach. I think that this would be considered their short-term outlook. There's only 4 of the best performing analysts who actually cover Turtle Beach since it's such a small stock. But you see you got 4 strong buys, you got a price range here from a high of $40 and the lowest entry was at 24. So the lowest guy on the totem pole in the sort of best performing analyst segment is predicting another $8 gain for Turtle Beach. That sounds good. I do project Turtle Beach to go up myself. However, I'm going to hang on to this company for 2 or 3 years, see what happens when they get their debt down just a little bit more, see what happens if they continue to innovate on their product line. Can they also sponsor more of the top e-gamers and influencers? And I think if you put all those pieces together, along with a growing market, remember the market today for headsets is $1 billion, okay? $1 billion. If we could get that market to 1.5 billion, 2 billion, which I don't think is honestly that far out of the question, then I think Turtle Beach's earnings continue to grow. Their foundation of their business from a debt perspective gets even better, and it's a great little stock to add to your portfolio. All right, so that's my Turtle Beach stock analysis. My name's Jeff Beers. This is the 40 Finance channel. Please like the video and share with your friends if you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video.